Welcome back to the Strata Automation technical channel. In this video, I'm going to be covering the trending and alarm features of OCN version 2. So over here in my tree, you'll see I've brought in a couple devices already. If you need to see how to do that, go check out our other video. So here, let's say I want to look at the trends for my BP848. I can also click other boxes here and bring multiple devices into this list here. But for now, I'll just keep it to one device to keep it more straightforward. So all my devices, or all my points, sorry, live in this tree here. I can use these sorting options here to drill down to find the specific ones I want. So let's say I want to look at analog values, and I want to look at my average zone temp, and I also want to look at, go to the next page here, I also want to look at my outside air temperature. So every time I click a point, that'll bring it down here into my chart. If I want to resize the chart, I can drag it, I can minimize it, or I can maximize it by clicking that arrow here. So now I have my trend here. Additionally, for those points, I could look at a specific date range or a specific time period for those points. So I can enter here, click on the calendar, or I could just pick the last 15 minutes all the way up to the last month. Additionally, I can add points here, so I can add discrete data points, and I can have live reload, so when it gets new data, it'll add that to the chart and keep updating continuously. Otherwise, I can disable that if I just want to look at current, let's say the last 15 minutes live reload. Over here, I'll see the points I've selected. So if I check this one, it'll give it its own independent axis. So I've checked this one, so you'll see on the right, I have the axis for my outside air temperature. I don't have a temperature probe hooked up, so that's why the numbers are in the thousands here. But and then my axis on the left is for my red points here. I click this again, it'll bring up points so I can see discrete data points that it's using to make this chart. Or if, let's say, this one is causing me trouble and it's mucking up my chart, I can just hide it with a click of a button. Additionally, I can delete it. So if I don't like that one or I don't want to show up in the chart anymore, I can hit that trash can and it will delete it. So once I get all my chart, all my trend data in my chart here, if I want to export this, let's say I want to run a regression or analyze it in some way, if I hit this export to CSV, it'll allow me to download the data that is being used to create this chart. And then I can export it in Excel or some other program and analyze it there. So that is the trend feature. Moving on to the alarms. You'll see here I have one alarm. So I have in my console, I have active and previous alarms are shown in the history. So once I acknowledge one of these alarms, it will move it to the history so I can see a full history of all my alarms that have ever occurred. This alarm here was for a frost monitor. It was breached for 60 seconds. I want to see the trend log for this point specifically. So let's say it was a room temperature was above a certain threshold for a certain amount of time. I can see the trend log and see what happened for that point leading up to it breaking the rule that I've set. Or I can just click acknowledge and it'll move it over to the history. In configuration, this is where all my alarms will live. You'll see I have a lot of dummy alarms here, but if I use this radio button here, I can enable or disable any previously created alarm. Additionally, I can update it. So let's say I go to one with an actual, if it had an actual rule set, these are just dummy alarms. Like I said, it would allow me to edit the rule, or I can just delete these. So I'll go through and delete all these dummy alarms that I don't need anymore. Now, if I want to create a new alarm, this button down here, add alarm, I'll click that, give it a name. So let's say, I'll just name this test. And then I'll select the point. So let's say I want to just monitor analog input 1, as that's a specific temperature reading or something like that that I'm monitoring. I can choose my rules. So let's say I want it when it's higher than, let's say 78 degrees for, let's say 15 minutes. I can hit done. I'm going to create this here. It's going to go out and start tracking that point for that, whether or not it's an alarm And again, I can go in here and edit that rule if I want to go and tweak that. If it's alarming too much, or I realize it's not a problem anymore. Finally, for the alarms here, I can create recipients. So um, if I want to add a new recipient, I can give it a name, email, and phone number, and hit add recipient. They'll show up here. Additionally, I can check these boxes here. So if I want to enable or disable a recipient, I can check those here. If I want to edit one, let's say I want to give it an actual phone number update. So now I can give it email or SMS, enable or disable those, or I can delete all these. So choose. So all those recipients live here. But that is going to be all for trending and alarming. Feel free to check out some of our other videos to go over these other tabs over here. But thank you for watching and have a great day.